Yes, sir. Mr. Nipsey Hussle with the intro. What are you guys doing? Another episode here in RSL, RK Sports Lounge, you know what I'm saying? Today is October 10th, 2022. I just want to give you guys a recap of stuff that happened over the weekend and stuff coming forward to this week. I hope you guys had a great weekend, you know what I'm saying? I know I did for sure. I don't know about you guys, but I hope you guys did, and I hope it was blessed and everything. Before I even get into the episode, I do want to mention again, check in with your family and friends. Check in, tap in, please. Check in with their mental health, please. That is very important to me, and it should be very important to you guys too as well, because losing a family member or a friend over something like that is not cool, and it affects others too, and it also could lead to other people going down that path of, you know, mental health and mental reasons too as well. So I just want to say that, and I hope you guys are able to, you know, tap in with your families and friends and, you know, open up to them and let them know they're not alone. Today, to start this episode, I do want to get into some basketball here first. I want to start here with the Clippers and the Wolves. There were some preseason games this weekend. I'm going to start with Sunday preseason games. The Clippers lost to the Timberwolves 117-119. John Wall started the way for the Clippers with 20 minutes, 20 points, 5-11 from the field, 1 for 3 from downtown, 1 rebound, 3 assists. That's some pretty nice numbers. When I seen John Wall for a full year, that's some nice numbers right there, no cap. Had Paul George 2 play last night, 24 minutes, 14 points, 3 for 10 from the field. You know, 2 for 8 from downtown, 5 rebounds, 4 assists. Not shooting, you know, not a good shooting performance from Paul George. You know, you do expect more coming from that guy, but, you know, it's still preseason. Everybody's still working their way into, you know, the system, you know, trying to get the legs underneath them and stuff. Kawhi Leonard did play too as well, 17 minutes, 8 points, 4 from 8 from the field, 0 for 3 from downtown, and 2 assists. Not very good numbers at all, to be honest, for Kawhi Leonard, but he is coming off the ACL tear. So, you know, he's a big body Benz, you know what I'm saying? So, just give that man time. If you're a Clipper fan, there's nothing to really worry about. He will probably be there when it comes to regular season and stuff. Timberwolves, Naz Reid, led the way with 23 minutes, 20 points, 9 for 13 from the field, 0 for 2 from downtown, 11 rebounds, and 2 assists. Now, as a fourth-year player or a third-year player, I believe, one of the two, he ate up Zubac. And I know a lot of people, some Laker fans were kind of upset that we let Zubac go to, you know, right next door. Honestly, in my opinion, I don't think Zubac was all that. And if this man can eat him up like that, drop 20 on his head, bro, stop. Like, just stop. We're going to be fine as Laker fans. We're not missing out anything with Zubac at all. Karl-Anthony Towns did play too as well. I'm glad that he was back on the court, especially dealing with all his illnesses and everything that goes on with his family too, especially losing his mother and stuff the past year or so. So he had 26 minutes, 19 points in those 26 minutes, 5 for 11 from the field, 3 for 6 from downtown, 6 rebounds, 6 assists. It's a pretty nice stat line for Mans coming back from everything, especially from the illness and stuff. And I salute Mans. I give Mans bad respect. Man, respect. Also, Anthony Edwards did play 30 minutes, 14 points, 7 from 15 from the field, 0 for 2 from downtown, 3 rebounds, 3 assists. I mean, Anthony Edwards, he's a fast guy, so I expect him to have, like, you know, shooting performance somewhat like Russell Westbrook. You know, he's gonna get a lot of shots up there, but he might not make a lot, only because most of them are gonna be contested layups. But, you know, Anthony Edwards is a better shooter than Russell Westbrook, so, you know, there's some leeway there isn't some leeway, I guess you could say there, but, you know, it is what it is. It just depends on how you feel and how you know, see that man and see, you know, if he actually should be shooting better or should not be shooting better, you feel me? I'm going to go to the Sacramento Kings versus Portland. Kings did win 126-94, you know what I'm saying? Start with the stat line for the Kings here. De'Aaron Fox was 22 minutes, 14 points, 4 for 8 from the field, 3 for 3 from downtown, you know what I'm saying? 2 rebounds, 3 assists. My boy De'Aaron Fox, that boy cooking. That boy whooping. Every day, that boy whooping. You know what I'm saying? Sabonis, 23 minutes, 13 points, 4 for 8 from the field, 1 for 2 from downtown, 7 rebounds, and 4 assists. Pretty nice stat line there for Sabonis. And then I want to get into Keegan Murray. the draft pick that they got last year from Iowa. Man, 23 minutes, 16 points, 5 for 6 from downtown, 3 rebounds and 1 assist. As a rookie, like, yo, I'm not gonna lie, the Kings are low-key my third favorite team besides the Lakers. You know what I'm saying? The Kings, they're gonna wow a couple people this year. I ain't gonna lie. I think they're gonna be there for that play-in. No cap. So look out for them Sacramento Kings. Them boys know how to play. Getting to the Portland stat line here, we got Jameer Grant with 25 points. 25 minutes, 17 points, 5 for 8 from the field, 2 for 3 from downtown, 1 rebound, 3 assists. Anthony Simmons had 28 minutes, 16 points, 5 for 9 from the field, 4 for 8 from downtown, 2 rebounds and 3 assists. Anthony Simmons, man. Anthony Simmons. They got another guard, to take over the reins with CJ McCollum there in Portland. Best believe, don't sleep on that, man. Damian Lillard, too, had 27 minutes. He did play, 8 points, 2 for 10 from the field, 0 for 4 from downtown, and 6 assists. Not a great shooting performance from Damian Lillard, but we all know when that man wants to let it fly, he can let it fly. Like, man's is a shooter. Like, he'll give you that Paul George goodbye, you know what I'm saying? And then also, too, the Lakers did play Golden State. No LeBron, no Westbrook, no Pat Beverly there. The Lakers won 124, Golden State 121. The Golden State Warriors didn't have Klay Thompson and Draymond Green, though, so, they didn't have their full lineup. But Curry, Wiseman, Poole, they all play. We all know why Green's not there, so. Lakers shot 50% from the field. Golden State shot 47% from the field. Anthony Davis in 12 minutes, he had 19 points. Finished the first half with 24. Okay. Man's unlocked his inner Shaq right there, you know what I'm saying? He finally woke up. Finally did some shit. You know what I'm saying? Getting to work. He finished the day in 21 minutes, though, 28 points, 9 for 18 from the field, 2 for 4 from downtown, 3 rebounds, 3 assists. Pretty nice stat line from AD. Hopefully, he could keep it up, and honestly, hopefully it just skyrockets from there because we need that man to be healthy for one, but we need that man to actually, get to that ceiling that we all expect him to be at, and the reason why we paid him so much, you know what I'm saying? The reason why we trade Ingram for him and all those players, you know what I'm saying? So, Lonnie Walker, he also did play, had 23 minutes, 14 points, 5 for 12 from the field, 3 for 6 from downtown, 4 assists, which is good because Lonnie Walker, honestly, he's going to be a good bench player for us. He really is. He's going to help our depth most definitely, especially because of his defensive presence. Offense, if we can get points out of him like that, that's a plus. That's a major plus. Also had Kendrick Nunn with 25 minutes, 21 points, 8 for 13 from the field, 4 for 7 from downtown, 4 rebounds and 7 assists. Honestly, at this point, Kendrick Nunn, 6th man of the year, calling it right now. Right now, October 10th, mark it, book it, 6th man of the year, if he keeps putting up numbers like this. This is only 25 minutes, man. Only 25 minutes. And we ain't even regular season, bro. Like, that man, dude. That man, he gonna show us. And then I want to talk about this former Celtic player, Matt Ryan, 20 minutes, 20 points, 6 for 9 from downtown and 1 rebound. Shout out to the Celtics for letting them go, blessing us. We can get some shooters like that to surround LeBron, Westbrook especially, and, AD when he gets double teamed in the post. Bro, we're gonna be in the ship. We're gonna be in the ship. The finals are gonna come through LA. The playoffs are gonna come through LA, which is what we want. We want the home field advantage. We want the home court advantage because, who doesn't like playing in LA in the summertime in June? You feel me? Like, who doesn't like doing that shit? Like, we need that. And especially, too, if we're able to keep our players at home, keep them comfortable, keep them on the same schedule. They don't have to travel far, bro. Blessing in disguise, I'm telling you. Golden State stat line, though. Curry had 25 minutes, 24 points in those 25 minutes, 9 for 18 from the field, 2 for 8 from downtown, 4 rebounds, and 4 assists, you know what I'm saying? Typical Curry things. Typical Chef Curry. Jordan Poole, you know what I'm saying? He had 23 minutes, 25 points, 10 from 19 from the field, 3 for 9 from downtown, 4 rebounds and 6 assists. And I'll tell you this much. His face did not look bruised at all. You know what I'm saying? His face looked perfectly fine. But, I'm not going to give Mads a hard time about that, It's a terrible, situation and coincidence that kind of went down, I mean, teammates and players, they are going to argue, they are going to get scuffled and whatnot, but to, have some shit go down like that, it might disrupt some feathers, and I'm going to get into that too in a little bit here, and talking about that and stuff. So, also we had James Wiseman play too as well, had 18 minutes, 13 points, 5 for 7 from the field, 0 for 1 from downtown, 6 rebounds, 1 assist. They're working Wiseman into that, getting them into that playing shape. They're, giving him more minutes slowly. They don't want to overwork him because, yes, he is still coming off his flu and his injury to his surgery. So they're going to work his way into him. This stat line, though, does look impressive. And if they can get him going, bro, like Golden State is still going to be relevant. They're still going to be there, even though, they did lose Otto Porter. They did lose, Gary Payton, Ryan Toscano, which is now with the Lakers. He played solid yesterday, too. If you want to go check out the full game highlights, go check them out, bro. That game really showed our depth really good, dude. And I'm really impressed with our depth right now. We do have some preseason games today, too, as well. We have the Washington Wizards taking on the Charlotte Hornets. We have the 76ers taking on the Cleveland Cavaliers. The Houston Rockets taking on the Heat. And to finish off the night, we have the Phoenix Suns versus the Denver Nuggets. And like I was talking about Golden State just not too long ago, since this is Draymond's last year, I want to ask you guys as fans, and if you're a Golden State fan, what do you do? Do you prioritize signing Wiggins and Poole? Or do you worry about bringing back Dre, knowing that he has the option to opt in this offseason since it is his last year? Like, what do you, as a Golden State fan, what do you do? And especially with this whole situation going on. Because say if, Myers does prioritize bringing Draymond back, and he ends up, taking his time on offering a contract to Jordan Poole, how would that affect Jordan Poole and his play? Would he request the trade? Would he, not pay no mind to it? Be like, hey, you know what? It is what it is. Whoop-de-woo. Whatever happens, happens. We're just here to make a championship together. We're here to play together, but let bygones be bygones. In my opinion, low-key, I would prioritize Wiggins and Poole. Poole would be my first priority, no doubt, no cap. And then Andrew Wiggins would be my second. But I mean, if Draymond does want to, hold this over the, the organization, or opt in and put them in a situation where they do have to choose. But everything going on, bro, it's hard not to choose Poole and Wiggins. Like, how are you gonna pick Draymond? No offense, Draymond is a good player. He is good on defense and all, but he's past his prime, realistically, if we're all being honest here. He lacks on the offense end. Yes, he can get you offensive rebounds. Yes, he can, make the layups, make the dunks, but stretching out past that free throw line, he's useless in a way, you know what I'm saying? And especially nowadays in the NBA, you play a lot of small ball, and you also play against a lot of bigs that are able to stretch the floor. And it's only going to get worse and worse for big men in the future, because a lot of these kids coming out of college, they are just long and lengthy, and they're able to play versatile and, expand the floor and shoot beyond that three-point line, and especially beyond that free throw line. And like I said, Draymond is a good defensive player, but, you rather him be in the paint to get rebounds and whatnot instead of him being out there trying to guard the guard on a pick and roll or something, and then potentially, getting into foul trouble. Now you don't even have him at all. Because, yes, he does like to hack a lot of people sometimes, too. He does like to do foul aggressive. He likes to foul aggressively. So, I mean, I want to ask you guys, I want to hear you guys' input on that. Should Golden State prioritize Wiggins and Poole over Draymond, or should they take the chance and take the risk of Draymond opting in and, putting themselves, back against the wall, making them decide, and then now rubbing the players wrong, and then potentially, having Wiggins just opting out and, leaving after next year, or Jordan Poole asking for a trade or opting out and re-signing with somebody else, That would take a big chunk out of the Golden State, future franchise, and what they potentially call this right now as a fucking dynasty build, And also in trade rumors and trade talks right now, the Hawks are looking into trading for Jamison Crowder from Phoenix. Which, honestly, if they do find a way to pull up that trade and get Crowder, bro, that honestly elevates them for sure to a top 5 team in the East. For sure, because that right there is that defensive presence that you need to, hey, go guard JT. Hey, go guard Jaylen Brown. Hey, go get James Harden for me. You feel me? Hey, go stand in front of Jimmy Butler and give him a hard time. You know, that's what you kind of need. You need that defensive presence and then, you know, that aggressiveness on that team. They don't really have that lockdown defender as of right now. They have a lot of people that complement each other on the defense. And, you know, they all play as a unit. They play as a team. And obviously, it is a team sport. But it's always good to have that number one lockdown, you know, D guy that you could be like, hey, go take away their number one option. And then so we can get over here and, you know, have Trae Young and Devontae Murray come over here, you know, start cooking and start working and doing what they have to do. So, you know, that might be interesting. I want to hear what you guys think about that. Comment down below. Give me your guys' insights and everything. And I also want to get into MLB. We did have some wild card games that, you know, happened over this weekend. And I want to start off with this. Who plays in Cleveland had a solo in the 15th. Oscar Rodriguez. If you guys don't know why I said that, go check out the highlights from the game. Man had walked out to the SpongeBob intro. If you guys never seen SpongeBob, the theme song, he walked out to that. Everybody was hyped. And in the 15th inning, man hit a solo shot to close out the series for Cleveland. So shout out to the Guardians, you know, winning that series 2-0. Also want to give a shout out to the Mariners for beating the Blue Jays after being down, I believe, in the 8th and coming back and winning. Julio Rodriguez, man, he is a stud. For being a rookie, bro, that man is a stud. If you guys don't know who he is, check him out. He's a solid hitter for them. He just signed a stupid long extension right now, too, to stay as a Mariner. So that's huge. They have pretty much the core piece now and everything now. So it's like, especially with this happening on in the season and going even further now, best believe it's just going to attract people next year going into the offseason and going into free agency. Also, too, I want to mention the Phillies did knock out the Cardinals, so that means Theo is done now. His season is over. And Molina, too, as well. Bryce Harper is starting to get into his MVP form like he was in Washington, man. Which is scary. Which is really scary for the Braves. Because, I mean, if that man starts cooking and he starts able to hit, bro, watch out for Philly, man. Watch out for Philly. And then Sunday, too, we had the Padres versus the Mets. The Padres did knock out the Mets, thank God. So now the Dodgers do get to see the Padres now in the next round. The Mets going into that game were the first team since 2000 to only have one hit in a winner-take-all game. The last team to do that was San Francisco in 2000, which is pretty crazy because, I mean, their lineup together all around was good. They had hitters, they had pitching. Their pitching was pretty much the reason why they were there and everything, but to get upset like that and only have one hit, like you really, it's a head scratcher, you feel me? And like the head coach said in the post conference, if you guys want to go check that out, go watch his press conference. He just felt bad because, I mean, like everybody worked so hard and it's just one of those days. But I mean, they were trying to figure out something. They thought the pitcher for the Padres had something on his ears. If you guys go watch, he was all, the umpires were all filling it up on his ears, filling up on his hands, his hat and everything. And it's, honestly, they should have never did that because it pissed that pitcher off. That man just started pitching, and he just kept looking over at the coach at the dugout, and he just kept doing this. Y'all ain't worth a dime. Y'all ain't worth the penny or the sweat right now. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to them for knocking out the Mets. Now we don't have to travel to the East Coast. We could keep it all here on the West Coast. Just travel up and down the freeway. You know what I'm saying? And all of that starts on Tuesday as well. It's a best-of-5 series for all series. We have San Diego versus the Dodgers. Hopefully, we can close them out in 3. You know what I'm saying? We have Philly and Atlanta. We have the Mariners and the Astros. Hopefully, Julio Rodriguez can knock out fucking Altuve or whatever his fucking name is. Freaking cheaters. God damn it. And then also, we have the Guardians versus the Yankees. Hopefully, you know, Aaron Judge can still keep swinging that bat and stay on top of what he needs to stay on top of. Because if he wants to get that bag and he wants to stay paid going into next year, that's most definitely what he's going to have to do. He's going to have to keep bringing it. He can't just fall off. Because if he falls off right here, no doubt, he's not going to get the bag that he's supposed to, you know, be asked. Because you know what they always say? Yesterday's price is not today's price. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? And this right here is about to be the halfway point I want to say in the show. I do. And I want to get into some NFL, you know what I'm saying? Kind of upset about my predictions not falling through, but, you know, we do have some controversial stuff to talk about that, most definitely. So we are going to get into that. But since we are halfway through the show, I do want to pay a homage and a shout out to my boy Mac G. Gonna play another music video of his. Please go Tap in, go check out his music. Apple Music, SoundCloud, Spotify, all that. YouTube, tap in. Here's another one of his bangers right here.
Get straight to it. Yeah. If I said it, then I meant it. Yeah, I did it for sure. You mad at me for doing what? Got your feelings, bro. I got my back against the wall. I didn't know where I could go. Now all I got is myself, but that's all I'm needing to show. So how the fuck we gon' respect you if your practice, bro? So get the fuck about the way. This ain't the time to look, bro. And my mama know I'm living wrong, but no, I got you for sure. Got you for sure. Rest in peace, yo. So you know I'm keeping you close forever. Look, I had to talk with my old self. I guess I needed closure. See shit for what it is and not what you think it's supposed to. The long talks with pops been really bringing us closer. Been focused on myself, mature, keeping composure. Staying out the way forever, watch over my shoulder. Can't trust the fucking soul and never show no emotion. That's just the way it was brought up. Yeah. Never trust the soul. Keep my head on the swivel. I need to get full. If you break life's toll, I'll be out the way. Just trying to maintain myself. I'll be out the way. Just trying to maintain myself. I might not have to figure it out, but I'm gon' get it, I promise. Life is being learned like I'm going through college. Baby girl, just take my hand and can't nobody stop. Say never needed not a soul. Shit, if I'm being honest. It's weed smoke for my lungs, got my mind on a lot of shit. I'm not these little boys, baby girl, I keep my promises. It's rags on my face, behind my back, we do the opposite. Damn shame. I really hope you face your consequence. I'm focused on this next, don't be good as your next move. Don't cry about it, no, don't let that shit affect you. Look at it like bounce back, use that shit as a step stool. This life shit, a bitch, watch this how she gon' test you. From losing homies to family shit, it's just another day. I'm lying myself, hoping that we see a brighter day. Cause we ain't stressed on what we can't control. Nah, we ain't stressed about it. And we don't stress about what we can't control. No. We just focus on the next move. Next move. Do what we gotta do. Yeah. We just do what we gotta do. We don't never trust the soul. Keep my head on the swivel. Everybody need to get full. No, if you break life's toll, I'll be out the way. Just trying to maintain myself. I'll be out the way. Just trying to maintain myself. And I'll never trust the soul. Keep my head on the swivel. Everybody need to get full. No, if you break life's toll, I'll be out the way. Just trying to maintain myself. I'll be out the way. Just trying to maintain myself.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Out the way, Mac G. Yes, sir. And you know what I'm saying? Paying homage to AD for his stat line yesterday. You know what I'm saying? Just had to get that in there. But yes, Mac G out the way. Go check that shit out. You can't tell me that shit didn't have you, you know, flowing just a little bit, head bobbing. You know what I'm saying? That boy got the hit, so go check him out. You know, I'm being serious. He's gonna be next up. When he next up and you tapped in and you tell him, oh yeah, I heard this guy because of Arcade's, you know, YouTube channel, you know, he put me on. Telling you, he on the way. He on the way. But let's get back into some sports talk, you know what I'm saying? Your boy thirsty, you know what I'm saying? I get some water. You know what I'm saying? I ain't thirsty for the hoes though. That ain't me. I ain't thirsty for the hoes. Nope. Stay true to the Lord, you know what I'm saying? Child of God. You know what I'm saying? But let's get into some NFL, you know what I'm saying? I'm going to start here with the Panthers parting way with Matt Rule after 11-27 start in his 3 years there, they did let him go. They fired him. They finally pulled the plug on him. I'm pretty sure it's because, the last 2 seasons he was trying to figure out the whole quarterback situation. They traded for Sam Darnold. He ended up getting hurt that first year that he was there. Matt Rule's second year coaching. It was Sam Darnold's first year. He did get hurt, which made them bring in Cam Newton. Matt Rule voted in for Cam Newton. Cam Newton didn't really, give him he did spark, a little something for the Panthers there, but he didn't, bring them to the promise that they were supposed to, because especially last year, they did start off pretty good. They were one of the last undefeated teams left in the league. So, going into this year, trading for Baker Mayfield again, he vouched for Baker Mayfield, and Baker Mayfield clearly hasn't been, what they potentially wanted him to be and whatnot. So they had to pull a plug on that, and Baker Mayfield did hurt his ankle too, so he's probably going to be out for several weeks. But with that being said, hopefully with the new intern coach stepping in and Sam Darnold maybe, getting that start, most likely he's going to start there. Maybe Robbie Anderson now could start get going. Maybe DJ Moore could start going. Maybe the field can open even more for Christian McCaffrey now too. But you never know, till that organization might just say, you know what, we're going to blow it up, because people, meaning organizations, have started to make contacts with the Panthers regarding some of those players, especially DJ Moore and Robbie Anderson, if they potentially want to blow that situation up. But who knows? That's one of the main news that did happen this morning on Monday. The Browns also did trade for Deion Jones. He's a linebacker from Atlanta. He has always been that cornerstone player for the Atlanta Falcons. He was pretty much that team. He was pretty much that guy that led the Falcons team when they went to the Super Bowl with Matt Ryan. He's always been a Pro Bowl player. He's always had good stats or whatnot, but I'm pretty sure he got tired and did not want to be a part of that rebuilding process that's happening in Atlanta. So I'm pretty sure he did request for that trade, and he wanted out. He wanted to go to a contending team, which is the Cleveland Browns. The Cleveland Browns will be a contending team, and they will be, probably one of those teams that might snag a wild card spot. If not, they're going to, try to be fighting for that last wild card spot. Don't get me wrong. And also, too, with the Pittsburgh Steelers getting blown out yesterday, is Mike Tomlin on his way to having his first losing season as becoming a head coach in 2007? To be honest, I think he might. I think he's on that path to get his first losing season, which would be incredible, because, from him coaching in 2007 all the way until now, not, having a losing season, that's pretty tough for any head coach. Any head coach, period. And as some of the teams that he's had, especially the past couple of years, with Ben Roethlisberger not being fully healthy and stuff, and not being able to move around, be mobile, had to deal with the whole Le'Veon Bell and Antonio Brown situation. Like, you gotta give man's respect. He's been able to do it, but I feel like this year, with these next couple games that they do have coming up too, it's just gonna be tough. It's really gonna be tough for them. But if anybody could do it, that man Mike Tomlin could do it. I want to hear you guys comment down below, please. Let me know what you guys think about that Mike Tomlin situation. Is he on the path to getting his first losing season as a head coach, which would be pretty incredible. Let's get into some of the scores yesterday that I thought were pretty interesting. We're going to start here with the Chargers versus the Browns. Chargers did win 30-28. Herbert was 22 for 34, had 228 passing yards, 1 touchdown. Eckler had 16 carries, 173 yards, 1 receiving and 1 running touchdown. And Mike Williams with 10 receptions and 134 yards, which is pretty impressive. But Jacoby Brissett did have more passing yards. He was 21 from 34. He had 1 passing touchdown and 1 costly interception that pretty much left points on the field. Nick Chubb had 17 carries for 134 yards, 2 touchdowns. Njoku had 6 receptions and 88 yards, which led all receptions for that team. But one of the main things that I wanted to get into about that game was, why did the Chargers go for it on 4th down on their own side of the field, knowing there was only 4 to 5 minutes left in the game? Honestly, we all understand. If you follow the Chargers, then you're a Charger fan. You already know your head coach has big cojones and is not afraid to go for it on 4th down. So, but like on your own side of the field, even Keenan Allen tweeted out yesterday, he was like, WTF, man. And that's your starting wide receiver, bro. Like I understand, you're going to have to risk it all, and especially if you're going against somebody that you might have to potentially, play in for that wild card game. This also helps you, but it's like, are you really going to risk it for the biscuit? Because you could have just punted it and, pinned them down and then forced, Brissett to throw another interception. But I mean, regardless, the Browns didn't do anything with it. They ended up missing the game-time field goal and the game-winning field goal. So it's like, regardless, you guys got lucky. Chargers fans got lucky, but to go for it at that point on your own, I think it was like 30 or 25-yard line, is pretty bold. I wouldn't have done it as a head coach, but that's why he's getting paid the big bucks, and that's why I'm here talking about it. You know what I'm saying? I'm also going to get into the Giants versus the Packers. One of the first games that kicked off on Sunday. It was a game in London. The Giants won 27-22. Daniel Jones was 21 for 27, 217 passing yards. Saquon Barkley had 13 carries for 70 yards, 1 touchdown, and Slayton had 6 receptions for 79 yards, which is not bad. Aaron Rodgers had 25 for 39 on passing. He had 222 yards passing. He was 2 touchdowns, which is, Aaron Rodgers type numbers, but, he could have done a bit better. Because especially in that second half, in that fourth quarter, they went MIA. They was stagnant. The Giants came back in that fourth quarter, scored 2 straight touchdowns to take the lead, and shut out Green Bay in the red zone. And that really doesn't happen, especially with Aaron Rodgers. You would think Aaron Rodgers would be able to, close out a game since he's that bad man, you know what I'm saying? But with the weapons around him right now, he doesn't look like that bad man. He's looking pretty human now, you know what I'm saying? Pretty human. Aaron Jones had 13 carries for 63 yards. He also has 7 receptions for 99 yards. Yeah, so, I mean, for the Packers to lose to the Giants, and now the Giants are 4-1, bro, like, honestly, it's pretty crazy. I would never expect, the Giants to be 4-1. And as of right now, Brian Dable, he's pretty much got it locked down for Coach of the Year. It's hard to argue right now. To do what he's doing with Daniel Jones, Saquon Barkley, and knowing that secondary and that defense is not, the best defense in the world, but they're able to shut down Aaron Rodgers like that, pretty impressive, man. Pretty impressive. I also want to get into the Titans, into the Commanders. I had the Commanders beating the Titans, but of course, Carson Wentz let me down. Again. Titans ended up winning 21-17 with a late interception in the red zone by Carson Wentz. Tannehill was 15 for 25 passing, 181 yards. He did throw for 1 touchdown. Derrick Henry had 28 carries, 102 yards, 2 touchdowns. And Nick Westbrook led the receiving way there with 2 receptions and 72 yards. For the Commanders' wins, he went 25 for 38. Had more passing yards than Tannehill, though, 359 for 2 touchdowns and 1 interception. That 1 interception, obviously, came at the end of the game where they were trying to win the game. Honestly, bro, they were at the 2-yard line. I understand that they didn't have no timeouts, but if Carson Wentz wants to get it done, bro, you got to go run it for yourself. You don't have to force it, especially if they're dropping back and only rushing 2 or 3. Like, you just got to rush it in. Just run it in. It'll just show that, you want it. It shows that you want to win and you want to, lead that team and you want to change the narrative that everybody has about you now in the league. So, Robinson led the way with rushing there for the Commanders, 9 carries for 22 yards. Brown had an amazing game. 2 receptions, though, for 105 yards and 2 touchdowns. Pretty much Randy Moss numbers right there, you know what I'm saying? Anytime he touched the ball, he scored. That's all you need to know. But, yeah, man, Wentz throws a pick at the end that really killed it. Man. And that was the backbreaker for him because, Robinson coming back from being shot in the leg. I don't know if you guys seen, but he came out to Many Men by 50 Cent, man. That intro was cold. Ice cold, bro. The way he came out, man. Shit was cold. I want to get into the Eagles barely getting by the Arizona Cardinals, man. I had the Cardinals beating them. I predicted that they were going to, but obviously, since they were missing their starting kicker and they had a backup in, he was just shanking it all pregame warm-up. And they thought since he was closer and not that far, he wouldn't have shanked it, but he still shanked it. Jalen Hurts, though, he went 26 for 36 passing, 239 passing yards. He also had 15 carries for 61 yards and 2 touchdowns. He led the way for carrying there. He was just doing it all himself out there. And honestly, he's really putting himself into that MVP conversation. But, what Josh Allen did yesterday to Pittsburgh is kind of hard to even consider that someone's on the level of Josh Allen right now. Goddard also had 8 receptions for 95 yards, which is good. If you had him on your fantasy team, he'd probably give you some good points right there, no cap. And then you also had Kyler Murray for Arizona. He went 28 for 42, not good passing day for him, but did have 250 yards passing, 1 TD and 1 interception. Connor, he left the game early, but still led the way for rushing there for 9 carries for 55 yards. And then Marquise Brown also had 8 receptions for 78 yards and a touchdown. But, missing the field goal at the end, man, is just that's what really, broke it. And now with the Eagles, showing that, capability and, that humanness that, they're not unbeatable, that they're actually beatable now. When they played the Cowboys, dude, the Eagles have potentially to be upset by the Cowboys and their backup quarterback. I mean, the Cowboys defense right now is legit. They have the #1 pass rush defense right now in the NFL. And every time they're in 3rd and long, their secondary has the clamps. Just because that pass rush is so vicious. You guys should notice against the Rams the way that they bully the hell out of Matt Stafford. Like, they bully that line. Granted, though, Matthew Stafford had, mainly only one starter. Everybody else was all backups and stuff. But still, the way that they bullied that line, the way that they got to Matthew Stafford that quick, dude, it was just ridiculous. But, the Eagles are a different beast, so I do look forward to looking into that game. And I don't know, maybe the Cowboys could pull it off and upset them. Give them their first loss. It's going to be a good game regardless. So hopefully it can happen. Let me know down below. Comment down if you guys think the Eagles are legit or are they showing signs that they're actually human and actually are beatable. And I want to finish off with a very controversial call and a controversial game with the Atlanta Falcons and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The Buccaneers ended up winning 21-15. Marcus Mariota for Atlanta was 14 for 25, had 147 yards, 1 touchdown, 7 carries for 61 yards too. He also led the way for rushing there. I guess, they just couldn't put enough points, but they should have had an opportunity at the end there because, Tom Brady, he went 35 for 52. A lot of passing out of Tom Brady. A lot of passing. If you're needing those points in fantasy, I told you guys in a couple episodes ago, go trade for that man. He just got Godwin back. He got Mike Evans back too. He's just going to get that line healthier and everything, so he's going to get those points. 351 passing yards, 1 touchdown. Leonard Fournette had 14 carries for 56 yards, 1 touchdown. And 10 receptions. He led the way for receptions too, surprisingly, even though Mike Evans did have some deep bombs and some good yards after catch. Fournette led the way with 10 receptions, 83 yards, and 1 touchdown. But the main thing about the whole entire game was just that last 3 minutes that they called the roughing the passer on Grady Jarrett. To be honest, I don't know if you guys know, but the NFL did put into a rule going into that Sunday with the whole concussion protocol because of Tua Tagovailoa when he did hit his head on the turf and his hands went into a shot. So the NFL pretty much made a whole new rule, made more incentives onto it. So if any player was stumbling or any player that, is looking wobbly or something, they're automatically taken out of the game, even though if they pass concussion, protocols right there on the sideline. If they wobble once or stumble once, they're automatically out of the game. But with that being said, the only reason I'm saying that is because when Tua did hit his head against Cincinnati on the turf, the way that he was brought down was by his hips, and it looked like he was, viciously swung to the ground, which led to him smacking his head, to him leading to the concussion and him, spazzing out. The referee said that was the reason why he made the roughing the passer call, because the way that Grady Jarrett took him down. Mind you, if you go and look at the highlights and you see the play itself, yes, he did get pulled down by his hips, but he didn't hit his head. It's not like he threw him down as hard as Tua got flung down. Like Grady Jarrett was running from behind, got him from behind, and just rolled up on him. And Tom Brady even kind of kicked him at the end. So it's like a lot of people said, Tom Brady's gonna get that call obviously because it's Tom Brady. Nobody else in the NFL is gonna get that call. And to be honest, I kind of see it. Like, I'm not being biased or anything. I'm not, I'm not gonna be like, oh, Tom Brady is just, he's Tom Brady just because, he's a former Patriot. No, don't get me wrong. Like, there are some plays, he does get away with, and that was honestly one of the plays that he absolutely got away with. He probably should have never got that call. He really got bailed out. Atlanta, if they would have got the ball, obviously they had the chance to go down the field and win the game. And they had pretty much shut out the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in that fourth quarter. So the upset was right there in the making. It's just, honestly, it was in Tampa. So, the home team, sometimes they're going to get the home calls. And the away team is just not going to get those calls. So there's nothing really you could do about that. But, we also do as well have an NFL Monday Night Football game today. We have the Raiders versus the Kansas City Chiefs. Honestly, I'm very disappointed to say this, but I do have Russell Wilson and Derek Carr as my starting quarterbacks right now in fantasy. And, if Carr doesn't show up tonight, bro, both of them are going to be on the market. I don't give a damn. I'm going to go sign Geno Smith. I'm being honest. So I'm going to go get Jeff Goff. I know Jeff Goff did not have a good game against my Patriots, but, it's against my Patriots. We got, I'm going to say, the best secondary in the league, you know what I'm saying? I'm calling it right here. Shout out to my boy, Jaja, you know what I'm saying? But, yes, I'm going to go get those two guys if Derek Carr does not show up tonight. Because, dude, if he goes out there and does not give me at least 3 touchdowns and, at least over 200 in the passing yards, bro, you're done. You're cut. I don't give a damn. You got Josh McDaniels, one of the best offensive coordinators ever. You have Devontae Adams, one of the best wide receivers ever. Darren Waller, the second best tight end to Travis Kelce, or maybe even the third to George Kittle. But, dude, it's no. There's no more excuses. There's just not. We're at week 5 now. You need to figure this out. You need to get this shit together. Kansas City has this figured out too. They're going to run up the points. So it's up to you, Derek Carr, and that offense. Can you deliver the ball, stand in that pocket, and do what you need to do? Can you get back to that MVP year that everybody said that you had until you got hurt? Yeah, I said until he had. I don't think it was an MVP year. It was a trash year. Raiders are forever trash. Basura. Sácala basura. Yeah, dale. So I'm just saying there, I'm over here getting worked up about the damn Raiders. I need to get worked up, man. My team won. Raiders going to lose tonight, too. It's going to be 31-28. Kansas City going to win. Calling it right now. But, yeah, we're going to get to the end of the episode. I'm mad. I'm angry. Man, I'm upset. I'm ending it like this, all upset. But thank you guys for tuning in. Liking, subscribe. Please do it all. Repost. Do what you guys got to do. I appreciate you guys for tapping in on RSL, man. Another episode, another day. Gonna get into some more football. Give you guys some highlights. Some of the preseason games, too, as well. Hockey regular season does start tomorrow too, so we are gonna get into that too. And the Dodgers playing the Padres too, so best believe we're gonna talk about that. I appreciate you guys for tapping in again. Like, subscribe, do it all, baby. Thank you.